The nickname of the CD would be Blue Balls. It's called But They're Disappearing. Songs por una mano. Songs for one hand. But, shh. Once again, why do you go that place?
This is a children's movie, Robin.
You're right.
It just never ends with this. I did the prequels, so now let's do the sequels. Happy Feet 2 versus Surf's Up 2. Which is better? You tell me. It's Juice and Jam time.
Man, you've got happy feet. I'm about to shove my happy foot up your ass, cracker.
Released to theaters 5 years after the original is Happy Feet 2 from 2011. This time the star of the first movie, Mumbles, is all grown up and has a kid of his own. But an iceberg shift causes his entire colony to be trapped in a pit with no food or water. So they gotta save the day somehow, with singing, I guess. Yeah, this film doesn't feel all that adventurous with this whole conflict being in this location throughout it. Before you ask, yes, Mad Max series director George Miller is back, yet it doesn't feel like that exactly. Do I think it's inferior? Well, it's strange. I thought Happy Feet 1's first half was pretty boring, while the second half jarringly shifts to something far more engaging. Like Miller was just given the keys to do whatever crazy idea he wanted. Meanwhile, Happy Feet 2 is a far more consistent film that had me entertained throughout it. It's good, but more of a safe, typical animated film. All that preachy, terrifying Watership Down elements of the first have been almost totally neutered. Well, mostly. There's still some peril in here.
Ooh.
That's not to say the sequel doesn't improve on a few things. For one is the graphics. Of course, technology advanced in the last 5 years, but so too has the art direction. The penguins are far more stylized, which mostly looks superior, though the big eyes on the chicks kinda weird me out. They're very marketable. Now, only the background birds have a realistic look while the main group pop out with their exaggeration, and there's way more color than just white and blue. It's a superficial improvement, but at least they still keep up with the massive scope like the first. And then there's the musical sequences. I also felt the choreography was better here now that the penguins no longer shun dancing. There's just so much more energy, like the franchise understands by 2011, realistic CG wasn't as jaw-dropping. So they embrace the fact that it's a cartoon and animate as such, a jarring shift that I welcome for such a premise. Although the musical sequences are so sparing that I kept forgetting they're in here, and when they are here, it seems like the track choices are more current to the time, or just this.
And the dooney, and the dooney, and the booney.
Maya, Maya, Maya,
Ooh, yeah, if there is ever a new Happy Feet, we gotta have Gangnam Style and the Harlem Shake. Well, thank God there's no R. Kelly songs. Why?
Can you whiz on cue and finish with a headstand? I don't think so.
Okay, ignoring all the piss and the memes, at least the comedy is much better. Like, I found Robin Williams here actually funny as this horny penguin.
I wouldn't want you to get cold feet, my darling.
I am not your darling.
See, what did I tell you, Carmen? No backbone. All squishy.
Ramon, it's incredible. Everybody came.
Except for that guy who stayed behind because he had the sniffles. Oh no, he's here.
But what hurts the sequel is that there's just too many characters, so you barely get to know anyone. Robin voices two penguins that have roughly the same character trait of horny, so I struggle to remember who did what. The most useless are these krill. They were gonna cast Stephen Colbert and Jon Stewart, but they were too busy, so they got Matt Damon and Brad Pitt. Just two super gay existential krills. Yes, really.
We could start a little swarm of our own.
We're both males.
We'll adopt.
You adopt. I'll adapt. I've got slaughtering to do.
Fine, that's just fine.
The duo operate on Lion King 1.5 logic, where they don't really interact with the main cast and they're just on the sidelines for extra gags. You could have easily have cut them out, but I guess they were going for this Fraggle Rock type of we're all part of the same ecosystem theme. Except humans. They show up for like 10 minutes, fail at a task, and then abandon the penguins to die. Thanks for nothing. While the first movie was about being an individual, the second's more about working together and embracing different individual strengths. It's a good moral that's almost the opposite of the first, but doesn't contradict it. While it's not as outgoing, I'd say Happy Feet 2 is a better structured film. Sadly, the box office would disagree. Upon release, Happy Feet 2 actually got worse reviews than the first and made far less money. It was a financial bomb. Like, how could that happen? Well, for one thing, it came out 5 years after the first, so me and I'm sure other kids outgrew interest in that franchise. Plus, looking at its 2011 November release, it was actually a pretty competitive month for family movies. The Muppets, Arthur Christmas, Hugo, Puss in Boots. The saddest part about this is in the opening credits, Happy Feet boasts about how the film was produced by Dr. D. Oh man, Trey? Nah, Dr. D was the name of Miller's Australian production company made for Happy Feet 2 and other future movies. But due to the box office performance, Dr. D Studios quickly shut down, fired nearly 600 employees while auctioning off its hardware and furniture. Its closure set back the production of some film called Mad Max Fury Road, which has been in development since 1998. Oh well, I guess that ain't never happening. But what about Happy Feet 3? Will that ever happen? And severely date this video? Well, Miller had this actual quote to say, yes, this is real.
If you put a gun to my head and said, you have to come up with a story for Happy Feet 3, I'd say shoot me. I really would have no idea. The stories creep up on you. You just have to allow the stories to come and then they get in like little earworms in your head and they won't go away. If that happens, and we've got the energy, we'll do a third one. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. That's the only way you can do it.
We'll be back with Surf's Up 2 after these messages. Surfshark VPN, yes sir, the sponsor of tonight's video. What's a VPN? It's great. It changes your internet region and protects your privacy. You got Netflix, just switch regions and bam, you can see what other countries have on their Netflix. It's that easy. How about something to keep you safe, especially on public Wi-Fi? Nothing can stop you. Use the code RebelTaxi to get 84% off plus 4 extra months free. It's a limited time offer, so get in on that now. Don't like that? You got a 30-day money-back guarantee. Oh, what? You got an incognito window on your browser? Wow, that's completely useless. Surfshark VPN. It's got clean web. This thing will block malicious ads and will notify you if your passwords are at risk. Don't trust an internet provider. Trust Surfshark VPN. Again, use the code RebelTaxi to get 84% off plus 4 extra months free. It's a limited time offer. Get in on that. VPN. Surfshark. Yeah.
Gentle penguins, put them together for the Hang 5.
Released 10 years after the first in 2017 is Surf's Up 2, Wavemania. This was at a time when WWE was really trying to indoctrinate kids at a young age with animated crossovers. Scooby-Doo, the Flintstones, the Jetsons, Scooby-Doo again, and for some reason, they revived Surf's Up a decade after. Like, imagine bringing back some one-shot animated movie only to add wrestling to it. Like The Road to WrestleMania, tied in WWE, Atlantis the Lost SmackDown tickets, The Sword and the Stone Cold Steve Austin, and who could forget Pagemaster, starring Paige. She's great. Feel free to name more crossovers.
And otters like fish. I just wish you could milk a fish.
Yeah, he kind of has this quote-unquote joke where he repeatedly mentions sucking off a fish for their milk.
All right, then I'll drink your coconut water. You better believe I'm gonna pretend I'm sucking it from a fish's udder.
Like every so often, he just has to suck on that milk. That fish milk. I know that feel.
Keep it up, I'm a nigga.
Surf's Up 2, Wavemania takes place after the first. Cody still wants to show how good of a surfer he is, and this time by joining the Hang 5, an elite sports team each played by wrestlers. They're looking for a new member since their otter, played by Vince McMahon and is named Vince McMahon, wants to retire soon. So Cody and the rest of the first movie's cast go on a generic adventure through temples that shoot darts out the window and into 64 bits of Gerudo Valley. Whoever shows the most dedication will join the Hang 5. Why are they going on this death-defying trip? It's because this magic conch told them to do so.
The conch tells me this place is booby-trapped like crazy. We take anything, we die.
What?
Yeah, the excuse for a plot all lies in a damn magic conch. Now, when you look at the first film and then fade into the straight-to-video sequel, there's obviously going to be some setbacks. Without the film grain, it just looks too clean and the surfing animation feels more robotic. That documentary format that made the first one unique is almost entirely removed. It's shot like a normal film for 90% of it, but they still jarringly switched to the interview format out of nowhere. Oh, and what really sticks out is there is straight up like 10 characters in this whole film. It's eerily desolate, like damn. Did global warming wipe the penguins out? That's what you get for dissing on Happy Feet.
Oh, man. I gotta text my manager. Oh, wait. This is just a regular clam.
Wavemania is a chuckle-worthy sequel, nothing special. There's some fun gags here, and I do love these designs, these penguin sonas. Even their surfboards are personalized. I like that. It's a fine, leave it on in the background movie because sitting down to watch this typical adventure film is pretty dull. Its humor just isn't frequent enough to hold this film together. There's not even as much bodily fluids as the first one either. Well, except for the milk. Among the original voice cast, only Chicken Joe and that bully guy, Tank, have their voices returned. Everyone else was recast, like Shia LaBeouf being replaced with Jeremy Shada of Adventure Time.
So, you know, other than getting sat on, how do you think you're doing?
Okay, that was not my fault, man. Hunter called it too early. I had Tank right where I wanted him.
Uh-huh. Where? On your head?
Though his mentor, played by Jeff Bridges, is completely missing from this film for whatever reason. Oh well, they already have enough characters on this adventure. What's so unusual about this is that lughead Tank is coming along and he nearly gets people killed like 2 times. Everyone's aware he's an asshole, but no one cares.
That Tank guy is ridiculous. He's like a cartoon villain. Why did you let Hunter bring him?
Everyone is here for a reason. I want to see how the rest of the newbies deal with him.
Yeah, it's all part of Mr. McMahon's plan, apparently. They don't seem to care until we get to the volcano level from Spy Kids 3D. As they glide over it, Tank peace with Cody, the main penguin. In their tussle, Cody knocks him into Chicken Joe, who falls to his death.
Hang on, Joe! I got you, buddy!
Don't worry, they save him, but here the wrestlers finally reprimand Cody, the main guy, yeah! They ostracize him from the group for almost killing a guy once when Tank did that multiple times. Why?
What'd I ever do to you? All these years of friendship, and he still keeps these walls up. And I don't know how to break them down.
Are you kidding me, dude? This guy has been sabotaging me since day one!
And you think that makes it okay?
Well,
oh, and remember the whole dilemma where Vince McMahon wanted to retire and find a new surfer to take his place? You know, the entire reason they're on this perilous journey? Well, the movie settles that dilemma.
I'm staying.
What? Really?
Yeah, our adventures are too much fun. Who wants to just drink fish milk coladas on the beach all day anyways?
Yep, they just dropped that and no one really gets anything beyond a lesson. What can you say? Surf's up to Wavemania. At least the goth bird is hot. Cuckoo! Nothing to do now but to play the end credits. Oh, god damn it. Surf's Up 2 has almost nothing to do with the original, let alone surfing. Why did WWE revive this of all movies? Oh well, let's just promise to lay off penguin movies. I had enough of them.
Come on, man. I can hook you up. We can work it out. I'll suck your dick.
Tomorrow, see the movie that critics are stoked about.
And who could blame us?
Surf's Up is hysterical. Awesome.
Oh, yeah.
2 thumbs up.
It's huge, man.
I know.
Surf's Up. Rated PG. Tomorrow.
How's your fruit blast smoothie? Oh, man, it's like catching your first tube. You know what I'm saying?
No.
It tastes like berries.
What tastes like berries? Where am I?
Fruit Blast smoothies in 3 gnarly flavors, only at Baskin-Robbins.
This year, I'm not putting Duracell batteries under the trees.
Oh, no!